And if he says anything, make sure you tell him, fuck him.
Yeti, that was perfectly timed. Excellent.
What was timed? Way to ruin the bit.
We've got.
God damn it, Chad.
I mean, that wasn't really a bit. We had that conversation. We just wanted to make sure that we opened with it.
That's true. Welcome to the Ascendant Art Podcast. As you can tell, we've got
Chad is having difficulties opening now.
One of our best friends to come on the show, Yeti, who always brings the heat.
Slender. Wait, no, you're included. Okay, no,
I was gonna say, like,
he's a co-host.
One of our
Here's the thing, Yeti. If I didn't want you here, I'd have had this conversation with Lil Chad, and you wouldn't be here.
No, you can't say that live. That's breaking.
Every day I buy and sell people like you.
Yeah. Okay. See. Now we're into it, right?
And we got Bad Take Bojan in.
I appreciate that, Bojan. Now it's you got to run with that. Run with Bad Take Bojan. That is awesome.
She's been running with that for like a month, Yeti. Where you been?
Well, I'm a little slow.
It's all right. So it's gonna be a fun week. We got a couple interesting things to talk about because Slender's been playing Diablo 4 and speed running levels so he can leave Mad behind.
I've already left Mad behind. I'm coming for Brahma now.
Is it speed running if you just play regularly?
That's a good point.
I am playing regularly. I'm watching all the cinematics and everything. It's good.
You're not even skipping the cinematics.
I mean, when you're with Brahma, you have to because he skips them, and then by the time you come out of the cinematic, he's killed everything already. But
that bastard! He's one of those.
Yeah, he gives no shits about the story whatsoever, and the story's pretty good. Like, I'm enjoying it.
When you game with Mad, you just got to expect he plays like a frittata and doesn't level up properly.
Well, to be fair to Mad, sometimes he gets to be led across the way on where to go by me, and that's a terrible thing for him. So, did you watch? I don't know if you saw that clip, Yeti, where I was the one guiding Mad to Slender's mountain base, his mountain retreat.
I don't want to know about you leading to Slender's mountain.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah,
they took an hour trying to get across the map to the place where I had built a base.
So Yeti, my setup, just so you know, is a Surface Pro.
Oh, isn't that like a decade ago?
No, well, it's a Surface Pro like 7 Plus. So it's one of the newer models. It is not a gaming
laptop.
It's not a gaming laptop. It doesn't have a GPU. I don't even have enough hard drive space to run the game, so I've got an external hard drive plugged into my computer to run Conan, and that's the one. So I don't even have like effects. So when we were watching,
this explains why you don't edit anything yourself.
Yeah. When we were playing the game, I would look over at YouTube and be like, "Oh wow, the game looks amazing. Is that what it looks like for real?"
God.
So I don't so my game doesn't render very far ahead of what I have on screen. So when I'm leading the way, I've got to stop like every 20 feet of game level to stop and be like, where am I going again? It's a really entertaining stream. And then you've got people like Jane Theory trying to get me to go directions that will get Mad killed.
Okay, but that's usually any direction.
Yeah, so good. It's good stuff. So I'm interested because Slender's been playing Diablo 4, and where he's going to offer some initial thoughts on that because Diablo's a pretty long running, popular game franchise that So I'm intrigued to hear how this new version goes. Yeti, I don't think you've played it. You're right. You haven't played it yet.
I played the beta.
The beta, cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. So, and then we're going to talk, because everybody else is, about the Flash. We have some opinions that are not, I think, wildly divergent. It's just how we approach those opinions that I'm gonna probably get ganged up on. I think I would be the bad take Bojan of the show today.
Oh, wow! Way
when
to
it comes to the
insult your
Flash.
one viewer.
No, it's true because she's known for being like, no, it was good. So,
she knows who she is and she embraces it. So
yeah, she's she I admire that about Tina. She's great about that. So on this case, we're see, look, on the same page. So which is that I just a spoiler. I didn't hate the Flash. So which is apparently a terrible take right now. And then we'll just kind of ramble and meander about anything else. So which do you want to start with first?
You have to explain we're going to ramble and meander.
I just like setting Yeti when you set expectations, then it's not a problem. So I let people
need to know what the show's all about, regardless.
Yeah, setting expectations is what can solve a lot of problems in this world. So, which do you want to go
somehow
first?
I'm still
Flash
let
or
down
Diablo?
when I come on here.
Well, in that case, Slender might kick you off, and then. So, no,
I thought that one would get Slender a bit more. No, but he's in the background yelling at.
He's probably playing Diablo right now on another monitor.
I considered it. I'm so close to 50. I was like, I could. No, I wouldn't be able to carry a conversation. I wouldn't pay enough attention.
Yeah, I can't do that either. You can always tell when somebody's doing that, and it drives me nuts on a stream or a conversation. Like you're not really here. Like, yeah,
your heart's just not in it, man. Your heart's not in it.
So, do you want to start with Diablo or Flash? Because I know, I mean, all the shows we've been watching, I think the last 24 hours have been Flash. So I don't mind if we want to start with Diablo, or we can get right into just that one. You guys pick.
I can jump into Diablo a little.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good call. That's where I would have voted, just because I know if we have a lot of the audience from the other shows that we all kind of watch, there might be a little flashed out for the beginning part. So first things first, I guess the villain in Diablo 4 is Lilith, right? I guess is she the overarching villain, which I don't really consider that like girl boss villain kind of thing. Lilith is a really established character in demon mythology.
She's supposed to be the mother of demons.
Well, okay, let's break it down a little. I'll preface all of this by
depending on what source you go by.
Yeah. Well, I will preface all of this by saying when I was a wee lad, still in middle school, I think, the first Diablo came out, and I got it, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I played with friends, and it would be me and my one other friend, and I would work the mouse, and he would work the keyboard for healing and stuff. Because we'd end up playing together.
So you were just like, okay, you hover your finger over this button, and whenever that red orb gets low, hit the button.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It was difficult to play by yourself when you're a wee lad.
Oh yeah, and like the interface was not yet tuned, so there was a lot of button presses.
And I remember I stuck with gear I found really early on because it had like a +7 to all skills. Yep. And I was like, oh, this has got to be the best thing ever, not realizing that, I'm on my way to hell and everything else.
Gear that gives me a +65 to strength so that I can have this +7 to all stats. What am I doing?
Yeah, it's like, oh, all stats is better.
Yeah, and when you're a 12-year-old, like you don't know how to min-max. That just doesn't happen.
No. So I got my ass kicked, and I never beat that.
I've beat each and every one of them, but Diablo 2 came along, and it tuned a lot of the things with Diablo 1. It was kind of the perfection of the formula. Diablo 3...
That'd be the expansion. The expansion is what set Diablo 2 apart. Because before that, there was issues, and the expansion came along, and that's when everybody's like, "This is the greatest thing ever," because it patched a whole ton of stuff, added new elements, and that is the game. Diablo 2 and the expansion is what people remember today.
Yeah, and then I think the expansion also introduced the Necromancer class, which everybody freaking loved.
Yes,
not my cup of tea. I like to be like a good guy, so. But
oh, you
Diablo
play a
3,
paladin, don't you?
No, I don't. I've never played a paladin. But when Diablo 3 came along, they changed a lot of the formula, and some people like it, some people don't. I thought it was okay. The expansion also for that one, I think, elevated it to the point where I thought it was on par with the other Diablos.
It was. I definitely appreciated how you're able to adjust your class and abilities. Like you weren't dead set into using the same thing because that's what you put your points into.
Yeah, and it creates a variety in play style,
Yeah.
which I like. You're not locked into this is how this class is played. There's several different ways you could play any given class. I started that one off with the Demon Hunter, which was fun, but honestly, then I switched to Sorcerer, and Sorcerers wreck everything. Like it's the easy button. You just push win, and then you win.
I never liked those characters. I don't know. Doing the long distance thing never worked for me. It's like you're constantly trying to run away and then hit your win button, but you can never trade any blows.
Yeah, but what I liked about it was like all I had to do was walk into the area, pop all my cooldowns, and then like I've got a Hydra that's just breathing fire on everything. I've got this giant conflagration of electricity that's shocking everything. Like I said, it's kind of the easy button.
See, it's just
I literally went through like hell level 7 with that, no problem.
Yeah, I don't like running away. Like I like jumping in and then hacking everything, and then
you don't have to run away with the sorcerer. You just better damn well be sure your spells are up and active before you start getting hit, because you are a glass cannon.
Yeah, I think I started out with in 3, what was it? The monk. He was like the kung fu guy. And you're like jumping around.
I don't know if they finally fixed it, but the monk felt grossly underpowered at low levels, so I never took it beyond that.
Well, yeah, and then his other things, he was supposed to be, if you're playing in groups, he's kind of the healer, and so that took away any impact he really had in fighting, which kind of sucked. But he had a couple cool abilities where you're like 7 places at once hitting one enemy. I thought that was cool.
And then we get to Diablo 4. Diablo 4, very much using similar formula to Diablo 3. They've expanded it, though, because there are talent trees now.
Which you played without me.
Kind of like World of Warcraft talent trees, where every time you gain a level, you can put the talent points in. And it follows a straight path, but there's branches off of each different set. And you kind of choose how you branch out, what you choose. I'm playing the Druid, which is, man, Druids are fun. Druids are freaking fun. But like there's a lot of different ways you can go with the Druid. You can spec out as a werewolf. You can do like a Storm Druid that's using lightning and wind type attacks. You can do a werebear. You can do Earth Druid that's like, basically Toph from Avatar.
The best character on the first Avatar show, by the way. My favorite.
I'd say, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I kind of like Zuko, but
Zuko's, it's pretty. I don't know. Toph just always seemed the most entertaining to me.
Yeah, no, Toph is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And the story behind this one is Lilith. The thing I don't like, and don't get me wrong, the story is very compelling. I'm actually liking a lot of the characters that you run with. But Lilith, as far as the villain, I would say is probably one of the most underwhelming parts of the story. And it's because they're trying really hard to make her a relatable villain. Like, they want her to be like Maleficent. Like, she's just misunderstood. She's trying to save everybody by killing everybody.
Ooh. Relatable.
There's this whole subplot where it's like, oh, the people of this realm can't possibly stand against the might of hell, so the weak must be cold, and I'm going to release all these demons that are going to make people stronger so that they can stand against the might of hell. And it's like, Diablo was just fucking evil. Mephisto was just fucking evil. I don't need a relatable villain. I don't. It's stupid. And then, Blizzard, they can't fucking help themselves to a certain degree. So, like, there's a random quest where you've got to save this girl because this other girl wants you to save her. And it's like, oh, look, they're a lesbian couple. How cute. Like, I don't need this. I don't need these little woke flourishes on the ends. And for that reason, I'd say this game was a solid 9, but for the reason that the storytelling, they can't help themselves, and they've got to weave it in wherever they possibly can. And they're trying to steer away from it. Don't get me wrong. They're trying to be apolitical with it, but there's just the little flourishes on the ends that they couldn't stop themselves.
Well, I mean, how many of their characters from Overwatch are now just like gay? Every single one. They retconned all their characters, and now they're all like, no one's straight in that game anymore. In
this story, right? There's actually 2 characters in this story. One dude, his son is white, but he is clearly black, and he's like, "That's my son," and I'm like, "Did you ever ask your wife why your son's white?"
Do you remember in Me, Myself,
That's going to be
Irene?
the expansion.
And then there's another girl who her mother dies because, obviously this is Diablo, so a lot of people die. But her mother is clearly white, but she's black. And I'm like,
switched at birth.
I see why the husband isn't in the picture anymore.
So, to me, not having played the game, but listening to your critiques on the story, I think what comes to mind as a way they could have done it a little better, I'm thinking of the first season of Castlevania on Netflix.
That was a good show.
I understood completely why Dracula would be doing what he's doing, but he was still evil about it, and it was still like, that's how you do when you do a compelling evil
try and
character.
Push in that direction with it. Like, I haven't finished the story. I'm only in like Act 4 or Act 5 at this point. I'm assuming there's probably 5 acts, maybe 6.
No, it's always 4. Every single.
Okay, well, I'm in Act 5 because Act 4 is already over.
Oh shit. Okay, so they changed it up then, because it was always 4 acts, and then the expansion was the 5th act.
It takes 4 when it's a male villain, but for females, I'm kidding.
They got to give her more, I guess.
They had to weave around the storytelling because it went from one side to the other. It meant nothing, and then you come back to the real point.
But yeah, for the people who do care about the story, I will avoid spoilers, but I will say they are starting to go the route of, well, yeah, she may be saying that she's doing all this for the right reasons, but she's fucking evil, and we're going to stop her. So that's cool.
So,
but like I said, it's really just they
up,
put little flourishes on the ends that I think they think felt clever, and I'm just like, how everybody says Christian movies are corny and garbage?
For the most part, yes.
Can we agree that woke shit is the same kind of corny, just for a different religion?
Oh, it's totally changed places now.
And the thing is, most of the time, the reason that the other stuff, that the Christian films come off so corny and garbage, is because of production. They just don't have the access to the same.
Oh God, no! It's the preachiness.
Yeah, well,
it's the way way they lay it down and preach, which is what wokeness has switched to. Like, woke has become the religious right of the 80s. That's what woke is now. But it flips sides and has the same authoritarian tendencies.
I can't disagree. In fact, I think we've talked before about that. But yeah, I looked it up, by the way. It has 6 acts and an epilogue. So
yeah. So to break down some of the new stuff that they're doing, it's kind of an MMO now. Like, there's always been multiplayer, but it's much more MMO now. I see all sorts of people running around in the towns. So that's cool. But the world is very instanced. So, for example, one of the things you can do is you can liberate strongholds. And once they're liberated, a lot of times they turn into a town where you can town portal to that town. They've got vendors and stuff there, and that's cool. But if you're in a different instance, you obviously won't see the people running around fighting the demons there. An example is, as a druid, one of the first things I do is I have to go liberate the ancient grove, because that's where I make my offerings to get my boons. And I had done that very early on. Then I went to play with Matt, and he led the party, and so I instanced into his world. And I was like, I got to go make offerings, because I had a whole bunch of druid offerings that I needed to make so that I could get the boons. And I go to the fucking grove, and it's overrun with demons again. And I'm like, oh, that's right. Matt hasn't liberated this place yet.
So what you're telling me is
20
that
levels behind.
is that Matt is just a terrible player who can't keep up with your skills.
Well, he's not a druid. He has no reason to liberate that area. He's playing a rogue.
I hear your excuses.
I know when I play,
which is nice.
I wipe the full map. I go to every single place. I wipe.
This I think this hurt his feelings a little, but this is a huge map, Yeti. It would take I've been covering the map for a while now, and honestly, I think I may have uncovered half of it at this point. But
probably would have uncovered the full thing.
I kind of hurt Matt's feelings because we were running with Brahma and he was playing the rogue, and the rogue is very similar to the demon hunter, like shooting arrows from the back and everything. And I'm like, it's cool. Matt likes to play the backline bitch. I mean, everybody needs one.
Oh,
he's the squishy player.
What was funny?
I'm just waiting for him to come in and
I'm trying to bait him.
I know.
What's great about Matt is that he's like, I'm not taking the bait. Let me jump on and respond.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on and be like, I'm not taking the bait.
Well, that's yeah.
I was like, I don't think you know what not taking the bait means, but it's all right.
But as far as the overall story goes, it's gonna have that depressing element to it because it's a Diablo game. But overall, I'd give it like a 7.
And this is
it would easily be an 8.5 or a 9 if not for all the woke flourishes that are infused throughout it. But the story is a 7.
So you're at Act 5. Do you think that if they make some of the changes you're expecting, like in terms of that it's just kind of a front and she's just evil, that it might actually
the woke
rate it a
community
little higher?
Probably understand this. That's all well and good, but I've played 4.5 acts through this story already, and even if it wraps up nicely, I will not forgive the sins of the past.
I guess that would be appropriate for a Diablo game. So yeah, there you go.
Story, I give it a 7. Gameplay loop, they've really polished the gameplay loops. The whole, go in there, kill a bunch of stuff, get cool gear, level your gear up, and I know, Yeti, you alluded to this in the first one. Sometimes you get like a piece of gear that has a really cool ability attached to it. And you're like, I love this ability. I know this gear is way better armor, way better stats, but I lose that ability.
Yeah.
So there's an interesting fix to that, in that if you clear out dungeons that aren't necessarily main storyline dungeons, you unlock aspects, which are basically those special attributes, and you can go and affix them to a weapon yourself or a piece of armor.
I always go and do the side quest before finishing any of the main missions. Like, I gotta do all this first.
I went through the druid list and I was like, where are all the druid only aspects? I went and hit up all the dungeons I needed to spec my character the way I wanted. And I like that. That's cool. Most of them are soloable. Sometimes you might need a little help. There was one I had to do where at the end you fight like this giant, fat, disgusting hag monster. And the problem with that one is one of her abilities summons a whole bunch of like dead sailors, and they all start trying to attack you. And she does it a lot. So it's very quickly goes from I'm just fighting this giant fat bitch to I am fighting this giant fat bitch and 100 dead sailors.
Well, I thought you'd
summon 40 more.
I thought you'd be good at like getting off a bunch of sailors.
Well, they're not trying to do that.
I just assume that's what all sailors are trying to do.
But
Isn't
Did you
that
just
like
say
their
that you would
MO?
blow them off course? Was that double entendre, or is that just your skills coming to fore?
You've never heard that joke? Hey, Thaler, want to get blown off course?
Hey, Sailor.
Not having been in the Navy, no, I did not hear that one. But I can see the humor. It's a good one. I'm gonna remember it. So,
but yeah, that one.
Can you ruin a joke anymore? Oh, that is a good one. I shall remember.
I
that.
enjoyed your sense of humor, my friend.
Ha ha. Wait,
Uh-huh.
is chat an AI?
you know, Yeti, I can't control how I speak. I appreciate that you make fun of my inherent characteristics and
Your immutable
my
characteristics.
immutable characteristics, my NPR voice.
Now you're gonna make me feel like an asshole. That's not nice.
But you've got another one because it is Yeti lore that you've got two, and Brahma contractually obligates us to say that every time it comes up. So,
but yeah, the gameplay loop, I'll give it a solid 9.
How about mechanics and controls? Like MMOs, RPGs, things like that. I can always come back to Destiny as an example. Like Destiny's got a terrible story. Bungie just fumbled it completely, but the gameplay mechanics, like the controls, are so buttery smooth. I can pick it up and just play. And so
they'd be great if there were more than 4 instances to play the game in. Like the problem I had with Destiny was not the mechanics. Even the story was mildly entertaining to me. I give the story a higher score than Diablo 4. I'd give it an 8.
You understand the story? Like, I have no idea what's going on in Destiny.
There's a lot of lore that you don't get in game. That's stupid. I don't like the way they present the lore, but the lore is actually good if you dig into it.
Also, Chad, do you play with a controller or mouse and keyboard?
PlayStation. I've always played PlayStation with.
I can't. When you say smooth, like I can do it on a controller, but trying to do it on a keyboard, there are so many goddamn buttons for that.
I haven't.
That comes back to was it optimized for a console or was it optimized for PC?
Except if you don't play on PC, then you can't.
It's very rare that you find one that's optimized for both. Even with Diablo 4, like I'm playing it on my PC, but I don't use the keyboard. I use my controller.
No, but what I'm talking about is doing anything, any competitive like Trials of Osiris. Man, it is so much harder on controller than if you're on PC. But trying to do it on PC there are so many goddamn buttons.
The people playing PC can overclock it, get graphics going, get 4K displays, get multiple. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can tune. I don't have that time. Effort. I mean, clearly when I describe that I'm playing Conan Exiles on a Surface Pro 7, that I'm not into PC Master Race gaming, right? I like the console experience for this reason. Usually, and I'm looking
convenient.
At usually because I don't buy games day one. That's rule number 1 when you're a console gamer. Or actually, I should say that should apply to all games now.
That's rule number 1 with pretty much every game.
Yeah,
Diablo 3 was the last game I ever pre-ordered. I pre-ordered that one, and I was there day one grinding that. Like I was trying to get on. All their servers were crashed, and you had to wait like 12 hours just to get the game going. That was the last game I ever bought.
My recommendation for most people now is to not pre-order. To wait at least 3 weeks, because that's when the big patches should all be out to address their immediate concerns.
I would have said 3 months.
No, I was going to say if not longer. Like usually I would say if you wait about 3-4 months, you'll get it at a significant discount. It'll have all the patches that will make the game playable available, and you're not going to miss out. Now, hopefully it's not a game that you really wanted to play. I will say the caveat is Nintendo. They put their games out and they work. Zelda, Mario, any Smash Brothers. When Zelda,
Tears of the Kingdom, I have not had any problems.
No, that's Nintendo. When they actually release the game, it's done. It's good. You'll be able to play it. And maybe that's because Nintendo doesn't push graphics the way that other studios are trying to. But I mean,
they go for style.
Yeah, and
substance.
Now
Yeah,
let's,
and
let's
that's
loop
what
back,
you're about
though,
with
'cause
games.
you brought something up that I want to address. Even though we're doing a Diablo 4 review, I'm going to give you my biggest gripe with Destiny now.
Biggest? I mean, is it the fact that endgame content
Dude, you
absolutely
marketed this
blows?
game as an MMO, and you have like 3 planets and 6 instances. Like, there's no fucking content there. Like, 8
No,
for
and
story,
it gets worse,
10
Slender,
for
because
gameplay loop. As far as like content, you get a 2. You get a
But
fucking 2 for content. I played.
I
Me
know,
and
but
my
it gets
son bought
what
this
I'm gonna
game. So
say.
this
It gets worse because they had other planets and they retire them because they want to be cheap and only have to
yeah,
maintain a certain number of zones at one time.
Destiny 2, me and my son got this game because he really loved the first Destiny. He wanted to play it. I was like, I'll play it with you. It looks pretty good. We played it. We picked it up like on a Friday. We both had it. By Friday morning at like 2 a.m., we'd been playing for like 6 hours. We were both max level. And I was like, well, we're max level. And then on Saturday, we finished the story. And I'm like, so what now? He's like, well, now we just do these 4 instances and get better gear.
That's when you're supposed to start doing the raids and dungeons with groups.
Yeah, they didn't exist when we bought the game. And then when they did exist, they were like, well, you got to buy the expansion for these. And I'm like,
yeah,
I am not paying you for another game. I'm not paying you for an expansion when you only gave me a quarter of a fucking game in the first place.
They never made you pay to get the base raids, and I mean there was expansions to get additional ones. Which I don't. What were you talking about? Destiny.
Don't pluralize that. It was base raid. There were no raids when they first started. It was just 4 instances where you could do what was it? Fire
yeah,
team?
they didn't. Yeah, they didn't launch the Vault of Glass for a couple months.
Yeah. So why did I pay so much fucking money for this game?
No, but they didn't charge you extra for Vault of Glass. That was included.
Yeah, that's always included in each expansion. There's a raid,
wonderful.
and it's always
you gave me 4 instances, 4 fire team instances, and a raid, and you're telling me that this was a fucking AAA title that I needed to pay $70 for.
Yeah, well, okay. So the one thing that you have to get to max. Well, the way they set it up, which I think is kind of
back when you needed a max light level to be able to even do that stuff.
Oh no, you still have to. You have to hit a proper. If you're not at the proper light level, you will never be able to do the raid. Like you'll just get your ass kicked. You won't be able to do any of the competitive stuff like trials.
Well, the competitive, the PvP on Destiny is so broken. Nobody should even get into it.
That is what has killed me.
It's a broken game.
No, I mean for just hopping, like I played Destiny going back to the alpha, like with PS3, and it was a fun like hangout game. Like when you were doing the waves, because that Destiny was a wash rinse repeat style game where you would go to a zone. You'd get 3 waves, you'd move on, go to the zone, get 3 waves, move on, fight the boss. And that was most missions that you would play. Yeti, do you agree that was pretty much the structure for a lot of the missions that you were playing in the original Destiny?
Oh, no, I only got into it Destiny 2. So I don't know what
I never played the first Destiny, but Destiny 2 was fucking garbage.
Okay, so the first Destiny was actually by the time they released which was their major expansion called the Taken King, it was a really solid game. There was a lot of content to play because they didn't at that time, because they were owned by or it was a co-deal with Activision, and so they didn't retire any of the zones. You had access to all the raids, you had access to all the stuff they had gone and done from the beginning. So you got Vaulted Glass, you got the Taken King raid, which was, I think, I forget what it was called. That was the one where you took on the Taken King.
The raid stuff drives me. Oh, sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
No, the raid mechanics. I mean, the problem with Destiny with the raids is they didn't have a good matchmaking system at all.
Oh, there is still no matchmaking system.
If you didn't have a solid clan who was really committed to helping people and helping you, you lost that whole experience. I don't know. Does Diablo? I haven't played this one. Are they since you said they're making it kind of an MMO? are they putting dungeons and raids into this one? Is that the plan? Like, what's
Dude, there are already shitloads of dungeons. There are raids. I'm in a clan.
I mean, I know you're in a clan that you have to carry Mad, right? Isn't he the one?
Well,
That
I have to carry Mad. The funny thing is, I think the clan we're in is Krigler's. I think we're in Adam Krigler's clan.
Oh,
well, good for you.
I don't know how Diablo would work for any raids though, because the game has never been about doing raids.
We did a world event the other day. There were like 40 people there, but it was all just the randos who showed up.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're fucking fun. Like honestly, the world is huge. There's lots and lots of things to do, lots of dungeons. It's still definitely at the core. It's like, I'm raiding this dungeon to get new pants.
Yeah.
Well, it's a loot. Yeah, it's a looting based.
Yeah, and the gameplay loop is solid as hell. There's a lot of content there. There's shitloads of content there. It's a lot of fun. It's got the Diablo thing where once you get level 50, you can go into like hell mode and start like leveling up more and more difficult, more challenge.
Mad's not going to do that.
I was going to say, I know you and Brahma.
He's going to have to, because I'm one level away from 50 and Brahma's already there.
I figure Brahma's already there and summoning demons or doing whatever.
I remembered playing Outlanders and
Brahma's a straight necromancer. His whole... You can't see what the fuck is happening on screen when you're with him because there's so much fucking darkness and evil all over everything. My dude just disappears into the cloud and I hope I'm hitting whatever's fighting me.
No, I just remember like in Outriders, you'd always hit a point like, oh, you could go up to do the higher. I'd always be setting it to the max because you get better loot. And he'd be playing like 3 worlds down. And like, wait, why are we not getting better loot? It's like, oh, because he set it on the easy mode. So he's not going to go into hell mode.
Well, he's going to have to, because
I'm waiting for Matt to come in here.
Okay, well, Brahma's like that is my thing from Brahma, so he's clearly
he covers the whole fucking map in darkness and you can't see what the hell's going on.
Is that when Matt is in the back?
He does a shitload of damage, don't get me wrong, it's great.
Does that help when Matt is shooting arrows from behind everybody?
Well, here's the thing, right? I'm playing the druid, so I'm the tankiest among us. So I'm the guy who has to run in there and go into the melee combat. And I'm just in a cloud. But yeah, overall, like I said,
more success if I was
story
there,
is the weakest part of this, but the gameplay is there. There's plenty to do. There's like it's one of Blizzard's better outings of recently.
I mean, that's not a high bar though.
It's not. But I'll give this game a solid 9.
What was it? Didn't they put like a Diablo mobile game out that sucked? And
Immortal.
Yeah, they did.
That was their start of their downfall.
Because I remember,
you guys don't have cell phones.
I remember the clip, where they were like, everybody was pumped because they thought a new Diablo was getting announced, and then they were like, it's a mobile game, and the crowd was like, fuck you.
Dude, the worst part of that was back when I was like a full-on Blizzard simp. Like, I was buying the online tickets so that I could watch the whole BlizzCon and.
Yeah, that was the beginning of their end.
Wait a second. They made you pay to watch their like promotional video?
No. You could actually attend the conference remotely if you bought a digital ticket. It was like $15. I mean, I got to watch Ozzy in concert one year because of it, so that was cool.
Dude, Ozzy's awesome.
I shit you not, Ozzy Osbourne did a concert at BlizzCon. It was really fun.
I'm not surprised. Ozzy Osbourne, when Sharon was making him take whatever check that would cash to do things.
And you know who opened for him?
Who?
Tenacious D. I don't know if that's true. Okay. They might have done different years, but I have seen both Ozzy Osbourne and Tenacious D because of BlizzCon.
Another group that I think will take whatever booking becomes available.
Well, they were terrible. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Jack Black. I love Rage Cage, but they were so high they couldn't put on a good performance. It was fucking bastard.
That never stopped Ozzy.
I mean, I don't know that I know what Ozzy is like when he's not high. And guess who just joined the stream?
I was going to say, was it?
It's Brahma.
I thought it was Mad finally taking the bait, but
taking the bait.
He's probably still
I've been laying
busy.
the bait out there.
No, he's probably logged on to Diablo right now, trying feverishly to level up.
I know.
To compete.
These guys are
got
all
a lot
just
of levels
traders.
to go because I've opened that gap significantly.
He is logged in right now.
Brahma, what level
you know
are you
how much
actually
farther
at?
ahead you'd be if I was there, but no,
Uh,
you're just playing with them.
I'm 54, but after 50, levels are split into like 4 things. So instead of every level you get an ability point, you get Paragon points, 4 Paragon points. So it goes slow after 50. So I'm starting to do my own nightmare runs and stuff. So I'm on World Tier 3 now and trying to catch up with Krigler and the rest of them.
I'm trying to pass you up. I'm gaining on you, but I know that doesn't
like
mean
10,
much
15
until I
minutes to
unlock
talk
World
about Diablo, and then I'm going to go play it, and you're not going to be able to catch me because you got a show.
Oh.
Just like you did to us last night.
Traders.
Oh, that's right, because that's going to be the second topic we get to, which you guys got sucked into. I watched the replay of you guys getting heated about The Flash, which
well,
I don't know why people are getting so mad about it, but
it is horror. It is one of the worst movies I've seen in a long time, and it might be worse than Birds of Prey.
Before we jump into that, if Brahma wants to give his take on Diablo 4 while I go get another beer.
Yeah, so Brahma, we've heard, what are you, different things, like story, gameplay, mechanics, that kind of stuff. Where are you feeling Diablo 4 at right now?
Diablo 4 plays a little bit closer to Diablo 2 than 3 did. It's not as cartoony as 3 was. So I like that. I like the skill tree system. Each of the classes feels pretty independent of each other. So they did a good job with class design. On 3, it felt like you were just literally walking through the stages over and over and over. I'm sure this one will get there, but everything is spread out on a world map because of the MMO style. So there's tons of stuff you can do without having to replay the campaign over and over and over. There's a whole bunch of dungeons that have nothing to do with it. There's even these like cellar dungeons that are just one room and you've just got a different mission to accomplish in each cellar. So I thought it's been really good so far. It's definitely kept our attention for multiple hours a day. And yeah, it seems to be a pretty good game. I had completely forgotten that Activision was part of Blizzard, or Blizzard was part of Activision. So luckily I had already pre-ordered it a long time ago, or I probably wouldn't have bought it because everything going on with Activision right now.
Well, but since Activision is involved, have you noticed, do your characters have a lot of good grooming going? I'm kidding.
Not mine. Mine's a freaking necromancer. It looks like a zombie walking.
Now, cooperative gameplay, do you feel like it's pretty easy to jump in? I mean, you're in a clan. Like, I know that's when you're playing a kind of big MMO like that, clan mechanics are really a big deal. Do you feel like it's a pretty easy system for you to be part of a clan, for it to like work well, group up, achieve goals, do activities?
I mean, it would be if any of us actually cared to. Right now, the clan is, a whole bunch of us YouTubers, and everybody's kind of doing their own thing. And, there's a whole bunch of groups of 3 going on, that kind of thing. And nobody's using clan chat, although there is a clan chat, just like there was a guild chat in World of Warcraft. Party chat works, but everybody's using Discord to just voice chat it. So,
party chat sucks.
Party chat, it
like
kind of sucks.
I mean, sound quality,
the typing version would work, but yeah, I mean, if you didn't have a mic and you were just trying to play like old World of Warcraft days and just using the party chat like text, I mean, it's the same system as World of Warcraft.
All right,
so
I got one more big question. This is an important one.
Sure.
How big a liability is Mad playing the game, and when are you going to just drop him like a bad habit?
Actually, I'm pretty surprised. Mad has started skipping all of the storyline and all the dialogue, and is willing to just play along at our pace. So that's good. He just doesn't. He hasn't leveled up quite as much as us. So
yeah. Slender was
he hasn't
mentioning
been-
that's how you do the game earlier. Like if you're playing with Brahma, you're skipping those cutscenes.
Yeah.
and
Well,
you're
here's
just
the
moving on.
thing. When I'm not with
Yeah.
Brahma, I've actually followed the whole story, and it's like I said, it's a compelling story arc overall, but there's a lot of woke flourishes that Blizzard just couldn't help themselves with.
And in that case, it's a lot easier to just skip it.
Like, I'm
Plus-
sure you don't know this, Brahma, even though you've done this quest, but when you save that girl from the prison, yeah, it turns out that the other girl wanted you to save that girl from the prison because they're a lesbian couple and they ride off into the sunset together.
See, and you're
Did they
unhappy
grind
because
off?
of knowing this.
I
She
mean,
got- you
they're both
rescued
on
her and
horseback, so I'm sure they're getting off.
You rescued
Did
her
they
and
kill
she
the
had
horses?
she had some
Rings of
flowers
Power?
with a little card that says "Lesby Friends," and then they rode off into the sunset.
Yeah, that would actually be funny, and I'd support that.
It was
Well,
it was really
that's one of my favorite gags from. It was an old Kids in the Hall sketch.
and I don't know if you noticed this, Brahma, but like that there's one main character who's we fought him and his son doesn't do so well at the end of that first act. But his son is white and he is black. And then there's another girl later on who her mother is white, but she's black. And I'm like,
You got far more into the story than I did. I just killed
it
you.
raises a lot of questions. And then like the girl whose mother was white, but she's black, I'm like, that's why the father isn't in the picture anymore, I guess.
Went out for cigarettes.
Oh, he saw that and he was like, that ain't mine. And he left.
No, I mean, like all Diablo games, I mean, the storyline is kind of separate. I mean, you're looking at the visuals and the gameplay, and so far the gameplay has been pretty good. Visuals, I mean, it looks good. All the effects look great. The Necromancer has some issues with, like Slender was saying, with my poison pools just cover the whole screen, and that's with them getting the ghostly version of it. Because like everybody's pets and everything else on everybody else's screen, it'll show up as like ghosts, and on your screen it's solid. So like my screen is completely filled with brown and black. Their screen is filled with a ghostly brown and black. And if it's that bad for them during that, imagine what it's like trying to see what's going on the screen where it's all solid.
Well, and the problem is, it obviously it's going to be centered on where the melee is happening, and so like you disappear behind it, and you can see whatever you're fighting because it'll show a red outline.
Right.
But you may be fighting an incredibly dangerous enemy, and they telegraph their attacks, and you do have to do dodging in this game because some attacks you don't want to get hit by them.
Yeah,
and then
boss
the
fights,
problem is all
it's
these
an issue.
minions show up and suddenly your auto targeting will be like, you're looking at the minion. You're looking at the minion now. And I'm like, I don't want to be looking at the minion. I want to be looking at the thing that's about to fucking kill me.
Well, I respect. We should have that fixed. Now I just blow things up in one shot. So Mad played with me last night at some point after the show, and he liked it a lot better. There's no poison on the ground now and no minions. I'm running around and I just shoot spirit bombs out and they hit like nukes. So I gather up a whole bunch of things, have like 20 in a bundle, and then shoot it, and the whole pack dies. I can kill a boss in like 3 hits on regular mode now. So it's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll have to do some of that after this.
Oh, I thought we were watching a movie.
Yeah,
but we
I
might
thought
have
we
to.
were-
Yeah, are we
that-
watching a movie?
Have
You
you
can't
heard from
exclude
Matt?
me from another
Stop.
thing.
Have you heard
Stop
from
being-
Matt?
Well, there's that. Yeah.
When has Mad showing up ever stopped us?
That's true. Well, I mean, it's never stopped us from watching what is it,
Battle
BattleBots?
bots.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
I
We can
think,
still
yeah,
watch the like old ones.
Yeah.
Or
that's-
playing poker.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that too.
There was that fun debate about who's actually the best poker player, Brahma or Yeti. 'Cause
Oh, I
Yeti's
clearly
like,
won
Yeti's
that.
like, I'm not taking this seriously. No, or was it Brahma?
That was Brahma after
that
I
was
started
Brahma.
kicking his ass.
Well,
I
he
came
did-
in and took everybody's money within 10 minutes, and then everybody kept re-upping, and I was just like, okay, now we're just playing for fun.
Oh, so now no.
And then
Now-
everybody learned why I will never go to a casino. I am the unluckiest motherfucker on the planet.
Even with
That is
digital
true.
cards. We're just
Yep.
like, come on. I mean, yeah.
I
then
call such bullshit.
then
Get-
Yeti was like, "I'm going to digital card count and show you how much of a shark I am." And
I took everyone's
I know,
money.
like, why are you doing that? The statistical probabilities of that hand, and it's like, Jesus, it's just a little game.
No, you got to play.
Dude, the funny part
so
is,
we do have to get
on
together
another
at one
tab,
point.
he had open like how to play poker, and was trying really
Right.
hard to impress us.
What hand beats what?
Wait. Chat GPT. If I was a professional poker player and I had this, what would I do?
Like, we got to meet up at some point and like sit down and play poker together. You know, like
Well, I
that's
know that,
got to be a thing.
Brahma just met him there. You guys were all just down in Dallas.
Yep.
Unfortunately, didn't know that was happening, so he didn't
I know.
make it. That was the
It's
story.
sad
and he's
that
sticking
nobody
to it.
remembered to tell him
Yeah, weeks in advance, months in advance.
months in advance.
I mean, if you'd have told him day of, he'd have probably got down there, but no one even reached out to him.
Oh, I was bitching at him day of too.
Is there a legend? Are you guys? You're probably not going. I know that some people do stuff in Orlando. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, that's in
That's-
October.
Are you headed? Are you going to go to that one? Or are you? That's too
Not
far for
likely.
you. Because
It's not too far. It's just I only get so much vacation a year, and the wife and the family are not real happy when it's all going to meetups and meeting the same people, and
that's a
it's
good
just
point.
my friends.
Yeah.
So
That's a good.
I mean, my wife is friends with Mrs. Flu and the Culture Boss and with the guys, but
I was
yeah,
gonna say,
it's
what are
not-
you
it's
talking
not
about,
that
Brahma?
fun of a
When I got
time.
married, I told my wife, "Listen, you don't have friends anymore. My friends are your friends now. So any of
And
the
by
ones
the-
that you used to be friends with that I don't like, you need to just tell them that you're
And
done."
then Slender immediately said, "I'm also going to get deployed for 6 months at a time. So you just sit at home and you just twiddle your thumbs
6
till I
months,
come."
try 8.
Slender gets
8.
Slender gets married because I am the captain now.
Look at me.
No.
Look at me.
I'm just waiting for
I am the captain now.
Slender's wife to come in and just start tearing him apart right now. You said what about me?
No, she's too busy playing Conan.
Yeah. And then Tina
I
over
think
here,
she's
I'm
watching
sure
the
that
stream. I'm waiting for the door to open and for her to stick
Yeah.
her head in and give me the look.
well, I'm sure the bride of Slender will hop into the chat and have words if it really gets if she wants to do that, because Tina's over here like, I'm sure that went over well, because we know Tina is taking it upon herself to adopt the best wife policies available. So she's the one we should listen to.
Yeah, but Tina's in like the Midwest, right? So she understands that Midwestern men, we only mean about 10% of what we say.
I mean, I think
Plus,
you
Tina's
both
known for her bad takes.
And
so-
there's the look. I am getting the look.
Oh,
Knew it.
no.
I knew that was going to happen.
yeah, you just had to wait for the 30-second delay for it
Yeah.
to hit you.
I love
That's
you.
it. Oh, that is not going to save you right now. Just that, like, the slow, I love you.
So I get lucky because I always ask. I asked my wife. I was like, "Did you listen?" I start telling her, "You listen to the podcast." She's like, "No, I don't listen to your stuff." And I was like, "Okay, that's
And you were
positive.
like, perfect.
perfect."
Oh, my family refuses to listen to anything that I'm on.
I know
And
because I'm
I've
like,
made
oh,
them watch movies with Matt a couple times because, that's different. But just the
I
panel
did.
chat,
I think I brought her
nobody
in
likes that.
for. I made her watch like one segment of a movies with Mad that was really funny. Like it might have been Sleepaway Camp. And I was like, "No, you've got to watch this." She came in and she's like, "This is what you do," and I was like, "Yeah, it's awesome." And she's like, "Okay," and then walked away.
Oh, wow.
That's the same take I get from my wife whenever I put on the smoking jacket. She just rolls her eyes and walks away. Like,
I was
"All
like,
right."
"Look, would you rather I go to a bar and just drink all the time?" I mean, this is.
She might be like, yes, then you'd be a normal person, Chad.
Well, you think I might be an AI, so it's all right. That's all right. Slender can confirm I am a real physical person who exists.
He is a real physical person who exists. And Yeti, I got to tell you this. Women only want normal men if they've never had one. But once they've had one, they want something else.
They want a freak.
You. So
So they never know what they really want.
That is the state
Yeah,
of being a woman.
I mean, that's the definition of a woman, right?
Have you met a woman? That's pretty much 100% the easiest way to describe it. Because one of my favorite movie quotes of all time from As Good as It Gets. You guys might remember Jack Nicholson, supposed to be a writer of romance novels, and the woman's like,
I think of a woman, and then I take away reason and accountability.
Yep.
No, I think of a man, and I take away reason and accountability.
That's what I fucked it up.
Yeah,
my bad. But yeah, I mean, that's
and Tina agrees.
I gotta say, like, I'm sure this statement can be told from women to other women and apply equally. But as far as men go, if you're looking for a woman, just understand that all women are crazy. You just have to find the crazy that works for you.
That complements your crazy.
With you best.
And as a balancing act, because nature decided that it's appropriate to balance, all men are stupid. And you have to find men who are capable of not doing the stupidest things that get us killed. Because I would say that that's how that balance goes. You gotta, and then if you get a good couple, that balances each other out, and it works. So, but
yeah.
So on the plus side, I think
getting all philosophical.
Yeah, what I was going to say on the plus side, it seems like everybody's pretty happy with Diablo 4 as a game. It's is it retailing for is 70 the new baseline cost for video games?
It basically is at this point, and obviously they're doing what everybody does now, and there's different tiers. You can get you could just get the game, or you can get the game with the season pass, or you can get the deluxe game with the super season pass. And it's like, well, I'm already spending $70. I may as well drop another 30 to get the deluxe game with the super season pass.
What does the season pass include? Is that where they're going to have more dungeons and raids and things?
Yeah, more content drops. You get like access to expansion type material, and if you've gone with the super season pass, I think you get like early access to that material.
Well, you got 5 days early play.
Yeah.
Before it released, and you get some horse mount and some horse tack, that kind of stuff.
Since Brahma pre-ordered, he was already level 50 by the day it actually released.
No, I was out of town, so I didn't get to take much advantage of it.
I was like, guys, can we reschedule this meetup? I got Diablo.
The meetup was worth it, right? You guys had a good time, so.
Yeah, we had a great time. I had another hell of a time getting home, but
that's right. Your flight was great. Your flight stuff was ridiculous.
Yeah,
we were doing a show over on Sporking's channel, and I shit you not, fucking Culture dialed into it, and he's talking to us in his car while he's driving.
Yeah,
and we're about to watch this man get into a fucking 20-car pileup live.
Yeah, he won't have a drink and then drive, even if it's just a beer. And he's
sitting there for 3 hours. And I shit you,
but he'll stream live while driving.
When he's driving, because that hand kept coming off the wheel.
Jesus, take the wheel. That's what was happening.
Yeah.
I was on with him on Tuesday because I guess Tom forgot the time that they did their show or whatever, or was
Tuesday tirade.
Yeah, the Tuesday tirade. So, I'm putting it on because and Culture is just kind of talking to himself. I just sent him a message like, if you need somebody who can talk like box office numbers, I can help. And so I got to talk. That was fun because we don't get into he goes a little more businessy, so that's fun to do that. But that was a fun time. He's a good streamer. He was on, what was it, 3 weeks ago with us, Slender? 3 weeks.
I think it was 2.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 3 weeks.
The problem with that, I was on with you guys. There's no mention of me. It's like with special guest Culture. Nothing about the Yeti.
Because I didn't know you were going to
special guest. As I said,
you're a regular. You're a regular at this point.
So I got to just stop showing up, and then I could be considered special.
I would like to point out that we gave you a very nice welcome and introduction today, where we pointed out.
Chad, this can work in my favor.
Okay.
If you want to get the title special guest, you can't be on the stream for at least a month.
That's what I'm doing wrong. I'm only here about every third week, so
yeah, you're not holding out long enough.
Well, you're also never here when we run the opening credits. You just show up randomly in the middle. So
no, I've never seen the opening credits for this show.
Yeah, Mad made them. That we like to point it out one occasionally. So.
That's why he's never seen them.
That's true. It's. I mean, this is fun. I mean, we've talked about this. We have we're up to 159 subscribers, which is nice. But we do this because we just enjoy hanging out with everybody who comes on the show, and hopefully that comes through. And Yeti, you are maybe not special guest on the thumbnail, but you are definitely a friend of the show and a regular and always welcome. So don't feel slighted.
I thought you were going to go with, but you are definitely special.
No, I thought it was going to go special in my heart.
No, well, I mean, you're the only guest we have that has two assholes. That's always...
That is a fact.
Yeti, you are a beautiful and unique snowflake. Just like
we found
everyone
out
else.
last night that one of those is angry.
Yeah, that's right. We found out. That was interesting because
we do not need to share that behind the scenes chat.
Yeah,
if anything, I would like to pretend like that behind the scenes chat never
to find
happened.
out which one's the angry asshole, all I have to do is stick your finger in to find out.
Because
and now it's
That's
out
how
there
Yeti
in the
found
world
out.
for everyone.
Yeah, because we found out this because to just transition, I made the mistake of saying The Flash wasn't that bad. It was just it was an okay movie.
You're a monster, Chad. A monster.
And that's where Yeti's angry asshole came out and decided to try to just destroy us destroy me, I should say, not us, because Slender.
You did help channel my like rage and come up with a bunch of jokes for the roast. So everything everything got put into. And I've got the recording done. I just got to do all the visual stuff. Although it's not as long as I'd like.
All right, we're gonna handle this like Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. I am going to be the judge, as I have not seen this movie. I will allow Lil Chad and Yeti to make their cases.
So, first thing I just want to point out is the
you're wrong.
Before we even get into the
you
movie
have to
good
say
bad.
Objection.
I just wanted to say
No, I'm pulling the Trump.
I'm just
wrong. just walking over to Chad.
The Hollywood establishment is going full court press to try to cover for Ezra Miller, because you see this headline, how the Flash dashing to $72 million 4-day opening.
Isn't that really bad? Okay, here.
No, they've switched to a 4-day opening because Juneteenth holidays this weekend, but no one was tracking it based on a holiday weekend at all. So they're doing this just to salvage the money.
But Chad, can we please break down what is a really bad opening and what is a good opening for the 4-day money wise? Can we please set that up?
Yeah, Tina coming in that, yes, I'm coming to the bad take side. So this movie, for the budget that it had, a good opening would have been $150 million plus 3-day weekend.
3-day. Okay.
3-day. It is going to make on the 3-day $64 million.
So half. Now
that is basically what Black Adam opened to.
And that was considered really
a giant
bad.
flop. Yeah.
Black Adam was universally heralded as a failure, right?
I would watch Black Adam over and over again before I ever see the Flash again.
And he would watch the movie Black Adam ahead of it too, but just Black Adam down the street is who he's really watching.
Hey, either of them would be more entertaining.
No. All right. So I guess now we can get into how I have now, as Tina points out, come to the bad take side. My bad take, and I will, is that The Flash is about a 5.5 out of 10. It's a mid movie. It's a summer popcorn movie where if you turn off your brain, there's entertaining moments that will make you feel happy when you see them. Specifically, Michael Keaton as Batman doing stuff, and Ben Affleck actually as Batman in his action scenes were pretty good. It's not a great movie. It's not even a particularly good movie, but it's not like ass terrible end of the world apocalypse that everybody's trying to make it out to be.
No,
it is a mid movie that,
No.
yeah, I don't think regular people should probably spend their money to see, but when it comes to streaming, you could watch this for the 2 hours
A
it's on.
popcorn flick
and
is
be a
Fast and the
popcorn
Furious. That thing is stupid, but you go there like, oh, there's cars, explosions, there's some fun stuff that happens. Nothing in this was fun. The
All right,
dialogue
so wait a
was
second.
horribly painful.
When Michael Keaton comes out and does his action scenes in the Batsuit, it wasn't fun to you?
For the 30 seconds that that was cool. But they
30 seconds.
set him up. Wait, how many spoilers can we actually give? Like, how much detail can I go into?
There's only 2 people here.
Okay, so I can just say whatever I want.
Yeah, and I know for a fact that I know Tina's already shown it because, I mean,
why you gotta bring that up, Brahma?
Because I'm a jerk.
Okay, so the premise of Michael Keaton's Batman is essentially of Jake Skywalker. Like, they butcher his character.
How?
They make him into an angry old man who's just got nothing.
He's not angry.
It's not even. No, just give me a second, chat. Just give me a second. Let me roll here. Let me cook. Okay, so the premise is Gotham is so safe that he doesn't have to do any of this, but he's still acting like a hermit, hiding in his mansion alone. Like he's disheveled and doesn't give a shit about the world because it's safe and taken care of. It's not like the Joker took over Gotham and he's like become reclusive. He became reclusive because crime was solved. Like, that was the character that was introduced. He got Jake Skywalker without even being angry.
All right, now that you've rolled that, can I ask, did you watch The Dark Knight Rises?
Yes.
Did you like that movie at all, or did you think it was a crime against nature?
That one was mid. Like,
it was mid. Do you realize that you described the exact same character arc that Bruce Wayne has in The Dark Knight Rises, where Gotham became safe, so he went into semi-hermit retirement?
And I didn't like that part of it either.
Oh, but I'm just saying.
Okay, as the judge, I'm gonna step in, and you're bad mouthing Dark Knight trilogy, so I gotta make a minor correction. He didn't become a hermit because Gotham was so safe. He became a hermit because everything got all fucked up and his leg was broken.
Yes.
No, it was because Gotham became safe. Remember,
it was never because Gotham became safe. It was because he was too broken to be the hero anymore.
I disagree.
Like, he was fractured.
Like, yes, they had built a tenuous piece off of the lie, but he went into hiding because the police were after him. He was broken, and basically, if he showed up, it wasn't going to make things any better. It wasn't that Gotham was safe. Gotham was still fucked up.
And I might add, to Judge Slender's point, he was also still holding parties. People are still invited to the mansion. Like, there were still social gatherings going on.
Yeah, he just never attended them.
Yeah, but it was still there. He could attend it, but in this realm, no one went to their manor. Nothing was there. Everything was dirty, dusty, except for the kitchen.
All right. I disagree that he was a Jake Skywalker style, character, because he didn't do anything to the Jake Skywalker character starting when he threw the lightsaber away, through the whole thing. Literally, they wrote stuff for him to shit on the character that was Luke Skywalker before. Whereas Michael Keaton Bruce Wayne only needs a little bit of coaxing, and he comes out of retirement to help them and save the world.
Like that part, that's why that bothered me, because he was like, they came, oh, we got this problem. Okay, I'll help. Like, there wasn't much that took him to come out. So it wasn't like he shouldn't have been this hermit hiding, he was ready to go and start fighting again, but the way it was set up, and he hadn't had a haircut or shower in years. like that type of thing. He's just
objection.
devil.
Having long hair and a beard doesn't necessarily indicate you haven't had showered in years. Like,
look at the guy in the scene was dirty. He was dirty.
I mean, he seemed pretty cleaned up to me, but
well, he cleaned up right afterwards, and then all that stuff was forgotten. Like, they had their fight, and then they moved on.
Yeah. So
it wasn't a full Jake Skywalker, but it was the elements of that. Like, that is what I'm trying to say.
All right. So that I understand what point you're trying to make with that. Yeah, I think we're a little jaded. They were just doing a mild character arc where he was the retired hero having to come out of retirement. They Obi-Wan'd him, where he was. So,
but still, Obi-Wan wasn't.
Tina coming to my defense. She has seen the movie. He wasn't dirty, just disheveled.
He was so dirty and disheveled. His hair, you couldn't see his face in the fight scene, which I understand they were doing that to hide.
Well, that's just bad CG with a stuntman having Michael Keaton's face.
Yeah, because they couldn't put Michael Keaton's face because it would cost too much. So they had to find a way to hide it.
Brahma, you saw the movie too, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you think Michael Keaton was a dirty, like, hadn't showered in years, like, homeless looking guy, or just someone with long hair and a beard?
Well, not years, but he was also just a long-haired, long-bearded hippie that was he was doing paintings now. So he turned into like some crazy artist, but I mean, he was no dirtier than somebody who doesn't expect anybody to be walking in their house that day
his
never got ready to go.
His entire house.
Well, the house is dirty, sure, but it's also a freaking mansion without any servants.
Personally,
I think because
he only lives in like one portion of the house.
Yeah, and they showed the room that he was working out of was actually cleaned up and maintained.
So
they cut to it. Remember,
but it's still a representation of himself. So he's got one area in his mind that is cleaned up, and that was still the part that had motivation.
I think you're reading way too deep into the minds of the people who make these.
I think they were just
probably.
I think they were just doing like the basic kind of hero's journey riff, where he's the retired old hero that that you come to come out of retirement to help you on your way.
And this is the part that I've got like least amount of issues on. Like, we spent more on this one section than I expected we would, because like that doesn't bother me. There was just a small aspect about that bothered me, and then the movie moves on.
All right, so just to give my basic problem, because I think it's easier for me to sum up my problem with the movie. For me, was like a 5.5. What killed it was the fact that I can't stand Ezra Miller. His mannerisms and his style just bother me. And if you put any other actor with any kind of charisma in the role and don't change anything else about the movie, like same scenes, same placement of scenes, just different performer, like say Grant Gustafson, who does the TV Flash, this movie would have probably been a 7.
No,
7.
because there's no
exactly
stakes.
My take.
No, there's no stakes in the story itself, though.
There's no stakes in any multiverse superhero story because you can reset everything. That's true for Marvel. It's true for DC. It's whatever. So is it?
Yeah, which is why I
when
hate
there is time travel
and
multiverse.
Yeah, that's why I hate every single thing with the multiverse and time travel, because they never do it right. It's always garbage.
Yeah,
it's always lazy writing.
We agree on that, but
can never be good.
So taking that out of the equation, does it give you fun moments that you can enjoy? And that's what this movie had. It had fun. I also think
I never
surprisingly
had fun with Ezra Miller there. Like,
I just told you that Ezra Miller was the problem, and if they changed him out, they would have had a much better movie. Just because it does, and
I still think it would still be cringeworthy. Like the moments where he's talking to himself, especially in his apartment with those like buffoons. Those stoners or drunks, I don't know what they were.
Stoners.
That wasn't entertaining. Like that was just cringe-inducing.
I'm gonna be honest, it made me chuckle. So
oh my god.
I don't know about. I know clearly you didn't. So Slender. Spoilers.
I was pausing it to take breaks because I couldn't take it.
Oh my god, Yeti! How did you? Let's just you paused the movie theater because you watched this legally completely.
Oh yes, yes.
The same way I did.
Yeah. So, So Slender, there's a running gag that when he changed the universe through his time travel, it actually changed Back to the Future. So instead of Eric Stoltz getting replaced with Michael J. Fox, Eric Stoltz stayed in the movie, and then Michael J. Fox ended up in what is it?
Footloose.
Footloose, and then
And
Kevin Bacon ended up in Top Gun, and it was just
Yeah.
a funny little riff. It actually
No,
made me
that
chuckle.
part I didn't mind, like that aspect and the explanation of the way the timeline changes. Because the more we know about string theory, the more reasonable
I was watching Friday Night Tights earlier, and I heard like Shad, complaining about the idea that this version of time travel involves rippling backwards and forwards, and how that doesn't make logical sense. I'm like, it's time travel; it doesn't exist. You can make up whatever rules you want, just be consistent with the rules you make up. And so the idea
they
that
were consistent,
so
that that's okay.
Which is great, because if you make it in the DC universe that was of this movie, if you make any change as a result of time travel, it ripples forwards and backwards and alters everything, and they were consistent with that. So
yes, so I have no issues with that. Like that is a consistent story element, and they play that out. So that part totally okay with.
Cool. All right. So I think we both agree the biggest problem is Ezra.
Oh, he is Ezra, and then the CGI.
Oh, the CGI was ass.
The CGI babies were ridiculous, but Ezra flipping from like talking like normal stupid Ezra to gay lispy Ezra just within sentences was very annoying too.
It hurt. Like I struggled so much just listening to him, and maybe that jades me. So if there's another actor, maybe they could have pulled it off.
Just like I think it jades Culture, because Culture even admitted last night that it probably wouldn't have been so bad without Ezra Miller. And it's like, so then your problem is with Ezra Miller, not necessarily the movie.
Yeah,
but I still like this. This is where I'm gonna say I still think the script was not up to par. Even if you have a good actor, it would be very difficult to make those jokes work because they were just bad.
So I'm going to grant you that the script in general, anytime you do multiverse time travel, it's going to have issues. So I don't even want to debate that part.
Yeah, we're setting that aside. We're setting that aside.
I think if you look at this movie with what was given, it is a serviceable summer movie that, with a different actor in for Ezra, becomes a 7.5.
No,
decent summer movie.
It can't save the baby scene. It can't save his interactions. Like when he's trying to do that banter, and then his tooth falls out like just randomly. Yeah. Like he goes to smile at the camera. Nobody's gonna make that work.
So the baby scene
in this tone.
Yeah, the baby scene, to me, it was because of bad CGI that it didn't come off as well. I could get what they were going for in it, and I could see why it was humorous and silly.
But you change the actor, and it doesn't change that scene.
It does completely. If you change the actor and you don't do stupid CG where they look like the dancing baby
but
from
then you're
friggin'
changing
Ally
the scene.
McBeal.
Because we are saying
okay,
the movie
all right,
would be
fine,
better
grant you. All right, fine.
Different actor.
If you put an actor with better charisma in, that scene still comes off better, even if you don't upgrade the CG. Yes, it does.
Moving the babies and barbecuing them, and then
we've seen it in X-Men without Ezra making his stupid faces the whole time and acting like a complete moron. If you put what is his name, Peters, in there, all the Quicksilver scenes were better done than these. And
they were all better done.
CGI, there was also the actor.
Okay, no, but that was a better shot scene than this one.
I agree.
It wasn't
X-Men
like
did
moving
it far
baby.
better than they did. Every time it went into slow motion, X-Men did it better than this.
Which then goes to an issue to the movie, not just the actor, which is my point.
Right, but I still don't think that doesn't make it a serviceable 5 movie. Yeah. I mean, it's an average movie. It's got some bad effects. It's got a horrible actor. If you get rid of the actor, I think it goes up to a 5-6. I mean, Culture tried to put it below the Eternals last night. And I can't buy that.
No. And
I think people are overreacting, and I think part of it is hatred of Ezra, which I completely agree with. I hate him as a person and as an actor. I think he's horrible all around.
To use the band name of the 90s, what we needed was someone better than Ezra. And that would have been fine.
This movie, I think, made me hate Ezra as an actor more than a person.
Order in this court. I will have order. Don't make me hold you in contempt, Yeti. Remember, I have admin privileges. I can do it. I have yet to be able to render a judgment. Somebody tell me about this whole argument that I saw earlier with somebody saying that the Flash killed his own mother.
That's Tom's argument. That's Tom's making things up.
I don't agree with it.
There is a moment that is hinted at, but the hint I was getting was from the other Ezra, the secondary one that was starting to get the spikes and shit, that he was going to go back in time, but then that never really played out. That would have been so much better, and it would have wrapped up the actual storyline. Oh, Chad's upset. Holy shit. He did not like that.
No, I was reaching for the my other computer because someone was spamming our Rumble chat and I had to moderate. And I knocked over the
You were reaching in this chat. Oh,
no.
Pew pew pew.
No. So Tom is convinced that to correct everything, Ezra went back and actually killed his mom.
Now, if they showed that would make the ending so much better.
No,
that would significantly
that would make him the ability to do that.
So, I know, like
that makes Ezra a villain. He's the yellow.
No,
hold on.
That secures the timeline from the universes imploding.
Let me explain this in a way that makes sense for everybody. He did not kill his own mother. The whole point of that end scene was Barry Allen coming to terms with the fact that he had to let his mother die as whoever randomly, he doesn't know at this point that it's Reverse Flash, even though that's Flash lore. In his mind, it was a random attempted burglar, but he still has to, when the other, and this is what Tom was like harping on when the other version of Barry was like, you're going to kill mom. It's one of those philosophical arguments where if you don't take action to save someone, are you now the one who murdered them? And it's, that's where that argument was coming from.
They threw the trolley problem in there?
That it was
pretty much.
Yeah. So
to
what
a much lesser degree.
Yeah, so in order for him to write the universe, and this is the whole point of the Flashpoint comic book, the Flashpoint cartoon animated movie, and now this, and the Flashpoint story they did on the friggin' TV show with Grant Gustafson, they've done this story 14 times. Barry Allen doesn't kill his mom, but Barry Allen has to let his mom die in order for the events to play out, because he learns trying to, and it's the whole point of the lesson Bruce Wayne, Ben Affleck tells him at the beginning, that these traumas, these things lead us to being who we are.
Yeah, but then he still at the very end of the movie goes and tries to change something.
Which is one of the problems. Yeah, that's still that's why things
spends the entire goddamn movie trying to fix the issue of changing the past, and then goes to change the past for the end of the movie. Like, it's asinine. You don't learn from all that shit you caused, and then you go and redo the same mistake.
It is silly because he thinks, and this is, I don't actually have a huge problem with that, because it shows, and this is very common in a lot of people, even when you recognize a fault that you have, you may still repeat the same mistake, thinking if I do it a little differently, it'll be better.
But that's why he had to stop the other Flash
version of him. Yeah.
Like,
but
he fought the other Flash because he kept making the same mistake.
No, Yeti, I gotta give this point to Lil Chad on this one, because in my experience, the smartest people think that they can do the dumbest things and make them work.
Except he does the same thing. Okay, so
yes, but he's one of those really smart people, right?
Yeah, so what he thinks is, I'm making a small change this time.
Yeah,
because I'm only making a small change.
Okay, Chad, the small change was to take that can of tomato sauce and put it in the mom's um, cart. But
No.
instead, this time he took the tomato can and put it on the top shelf. Those things are so both insignificant
Okay, so
that they radically.
you've got to look at
not.
next order. You're looking at next order
Yeah.
effects is in his mind. All right, I'm gonna explain this out for you. When he takes the tomato can and puts it in his mom's cart, it means she doesn't have to send the husband out later. It means she doesn't get murdered. So a person who died doesn't die. That's a pretty significant
That's a
butterfly
large
effect change. So what he did instead is when he took the tomato can out, he knew his dad was going to go out. All he did in his mind was by moving the can up to the top shelf so his dad would have to reach and now visibly have his face on camera. That doesn't
is still
change.
a significant change
on
par with putting it inside.
No, because in his
It's not on par with it. It's not saving somebody's life.
He's saving his father's life. From
no,
prison.
because
he's
no, he
keeping
does
his father out of prison. That's different than saving a
but
life.
remember, his father's still
mind.
serving, but his father's still going to serve 10 years in prison. All it means is
but
now his dad would get.
He's not spending life.
I understand.
So it
Yeti,
doesn't
but
change
because he's not thinking that through. That's the whole point of his fucking character in this movie is that he thinks enough to give himself an out. Like there's a famous cartoonist named Scott Adams. He came up with something that I liked because it applies. It's people make decisions with what he calls a fake because. People will rationalize a choice if they can come up with a reason that makes them think it'll be okay. And this point is he thinks because he's making just a small change that doesn't result in like immediate his mom not dying, it's not going to have ramifications on the timeline. And until George Clooney walks his fancy ass out of that car, he doesn't think that anything has changed.
But it's still so obviously a massive change in the time. Like the entire movie
in hindsight,
was supposed to be,
Yeti,
don't screw with the timeline.
Yes,
and then he screws with the timeline
because he still doesn't learn the full lesson, and it's
so then there's no character development. The character that
there
started
isn't.
did not change.
No, he didn't because he's a.
So then the movie is pointless. You have to.
I
have
agreed with you that the movie was pointless.
Order.
That's why we called it a popcorn.
Order.
Yeah. Where does Vin Diesel get character development in the
point on this? But I will say, Yeti, this is a superhero movie. Superhero arcs are never resolved in one movie. So the fact that there was minimal character development in a single movie doesn't mean a whole lot.
Okay. Hey, it comes from your honor. Oh God, I feel dirty saying that.
I like hearing it. Say it again.
No, but so what I'm getting at is, and here's the thing, the rest of the supporting cast worked great. I was really worried that for specifically the Supergirl was going to be a problem. Actually, the Supergirl character, the actress, and the way they portrayed her was one of the better elements of the movie.
I would agree with that.
She actually looked, they didn't buoy her up too much in the outfit. You could definitely tell she was a woman, so that was a plus. Are
you talking about her boobs?
Yes, I'm being polite about it. Because that was a thing that was people were worried about, but she
and they didn't Mary Sue her. Like no, because she struggled and she.
Let me tell you, we saw Zod kill her so many different ways.
Yeah, it was so that part. I'm with you. I'm with you, Chad.
I think Michael Keaton did a pretty good performance, and you can disagree with what was written for him to do, but I think he performed aside from the "Let's get nuts" line, which was just stupid. That was the only line I thought was cringe that he did.
I would like to call for dismissal because Judge Yeti's already said now that he didn't have problems with certain parts of the movie, yet his initial claim was there was not one scene in this movie that was worth watching.
No, I didn't say it was worth watching. I'd say this is not.
You said every scene in this movie was absolute trash, and none of it is
still trash.
And you've now said a few things that you agreed that were okay or good.
No.
Like
I said those are serviceable. Batman 1 shouldn't be in the daylight. Like it's the suit everything about Batman is ridiculous in the daytime. It does not work. It is insane to think that Batman should be running around in his cape and with flying around in the day, because his entire thing is based around fear.
Objection.
It's hiding. It's
Batman.
stealth.
Hold on. Objection. Batman saves people, and if an entire hospital of people is getting attacked and a virus that can wipe out half of Gotham is stolen, Batman will get his happy ass out there at 10 a.m. So
it always happens.
I gotta sustain that objection, because when Batman fights Bane in the city square at the very end of the third movie, it's daylight. I mean, they're duking it out in the daylight.
And we can all agree that third movie was the worst out of the trilogy.
You bite your tongue, sir.
Adam West Batman was always in the daylight.
I mean, you remember when he was running with the bomb on the pier? I mean, that was right.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Right? Here's the thing, Yeti. The third movie in the Dark Knight trilogy is the worst one. But that's like saying, this is the worst perfect steak I've ever had. Still a good fucking movie.
Oh, I don't know. It's more like decent chow mein.
Okay, I rule in favor of Little Chad.
No, that is biased, and we have to have a retrial.
Whoa, hold on, we'll take.
I will not recuse myself, Yeti.
The ruling is clearly biased. The judge is showing favoritism because of something unrelated to the movie and question at hand.
It was related.
My final verdict.
Batman should never be seen during the day.
From everything I've heard, my final verdict on this one. Yeti is correct. The movie is mid. Lil Chad is correct too. The movie is mid, but if you really, really like that kind of thing, you'll probably at least find something to enjoy in the movie.
Do you enjoy the new scroll, Yeti?
No, you did not get the W. Take that off. I would like to motion for contempt of court.
Oh, you want to be held in contempt?
No. Chad is contempt of.
There we go. Put him in jail.
Well, I did want to re-highlight this one because Tina brings up what was probably the most entertaining of the cameo scenes that they did, which was Nick Cage as Superman fighting the giant.
Have you learned your lesson?
Out of the bad cameo, yeah. I thought Gal Gadot's cameo was pretty funny. I get why some people have a problem with it because she supposedly emasculates everybody, but it's like it was not running that bad. It was a joke, and it's the lasso of truth. We all know what it does.
Yeah, and I know that people are like, that's not how the lasso of truth works. They established when they did the Snyder Justice League when Arthur Curry sat on it and he just started like blurting things out. And when they went back, I think it was in the Wonder Woman movie when Steve Trevor, Chris Pine was holding it. And so that's how it works in this universe. And so whatever, it's fine. Again, if you're consistent with the rules.
They did it with Jason Momoa when he sat on it. And he's like, I don't know why we're doing this. We're probably all going to die.
Yep.
I will say, can we all agree that Wonder Woman
Helen
has
Slater
one of the best...
was hot as Supergirl and was Tina. Hey, where's my bad take partner? Can you agree that Helen Slater was probably the hottest Supergirl we've ever seen on screen? Come on.
Okay, this is not what I'm saying. Can we all agree?
Wonder Woman's theme song is the best.
Yes, that Wonder Woman's theme song is like kind of badass. When it goes on, you're like, man, this is like hitting.
That's been the best part of the Wonder Woman movies is the theme song that they came up with for her.
It is really
it's like what Xena's theme song should have been.
Yeah, it is a really good theme song. And you immediately know
Tina coming in and supporting me on this one. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that is 100%.
Or is she supporting us?
or is she supporting Yeti? Like, it's hard to say.
Well, no, there's a time delay.
Just happy to have somebody supposedly with a bad take along with her.
That's true. What is interesting, and maybe because we're talking about the music cues, right? One of the things that worked really good for Michael Keaton was that they used the Danny Elfman Batman themes from 1989 when he was on screen doing his stuff. I've always thought it was stupid that when they're reintroducing the characters, they still don't rely on the themes that everybody loves for the character. Like for some reason, for some god awful reason, they never want to use the John Williams Superman music when they do new Superman movies, and it's
probably because it takes way too much money.
And it's fatata. No, they own the rights to it. It's Warner Brothers. It doesn't make any sense. Like
no, because they'd still have to pay royalties.
It's whatever. They should
like
be using
Disney
it.
wouldn't use new Star Wars stuff because they'd still pay royalties.
They use the theme. They have John Williams doing the music in the Star Wars.
Oh no, I'm talking about all the characters and stuff.
No, I'm talking about just like we have all these iconic themes. Like we have the Danny Elfman Batman. Like that Danny Elfman Batman music is the music they should be using for Batman every time. I think you guys all know what I'm talking about. Like the Batman theme that goes from 1989. It's perfect.
Yeah, when he goes on screen, least
it's iconic.
Yeah, in fact, I would even argue that because Danny Elfman also did the theme music for the 1990 Flash TV show, and it's in the same vein as the Batman one, and that one is the music they should be using for Flash. And then you got the John Williams music for Superman. I think that Wonder Woman theme should be used every time they have a Wonder Woman on screen. It's such a great Wonder Woman theme. I don't think they have one for Aquaman yet, though, which is...
I don't think... I still haven't watched the original Aquaman because I just don't care about so much of this stuff.
You know what else Danny Elfman composed?
Beetlejuice?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yep.
Which is... I mean, the music in that is absolutely amazing.
Well, you know what band Danny Elfman was in, right?
This is Halloween. Pumpkin scream at the dead of night. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Pumpkin scream. Sorry, what?
I was like, the trivia. You know what band Danny Elfman started in, right?
Do tell.
Devo.
Oh.
He must whip it. So that's he was in Devo before he did.
I mean, Whip It's a good song too.
I want to say Danny Elfman also did the Rugrats, the TV show, the cartoon. He did the
what?
He did the
Rugrats?
Yeah. Let me look it up just to make sure.
The Rugrats do not seem to fit with Danny Elfman. Like that is not the idea of those two going together does not compute.
I'm looking at it. It was. It's hard to find composers.
He is credited with doing the main score for the Rugrats movie, but I never saw the movie.
Yeah, never saw that. Hey, can we move the screen down so I don't have to stare at Ezra Miller's ugly face anymore?
Oh, sure. Because
even the mask isn't fitted properly.
There's another fun thing, which is that Elemental is crashing. This thing is going to make $33 million over the 3-day weekend.
Dude, I have been saying this for a long time that movie's going to bite the dust.
This is Slender. This is Disney's $200 million newest Pixar movie.
Oh yeah, I heard that was going to be a failure. They've been projecting that thing to fail for over a month now.
Isn't it forgettable?
But all of their movies, all the recent Disney and Pixar movies have been utter trash. Take a look at the last 3-4. None of them have been remotely good. You had that Getting Red or Turning Red or the period movie.
Red, Inside Out. I think
Inside Out was before that, before it really started tanking.
Dude, here's some advice. This we're bringing it back around to Weeb Day because it is Friday, but Elemental looked stupid to me. If you really want to see something good, watch The Ice Guy and His Cool Female Colleague.
What?
It's a Square Enix anime romance, romantic comedy. It's pretty funny. I enjoyed it.
Never heard of that.
I even watched it subtitled. That's how much I wanted to see what it was all about.
Hey, what is the Little Mermaid doing?
The Little Mermaid is
flopping
like a fish.
It's not going to make it past 500.
So it'll finish between 250 and 300 domestic, which sounds great until you realize it's only going to make like about 170 like worldwide.
Man, so I called that. I absolutely nailed that.
So
now the question everybody on this side of YouTube called that.
I know, right? Yeah. Like every single one of us said it was going to flop.
Yeah, so it's and Rise of the Beast. I have no idea why they greenlit another $200 million Transformers movie. That was stupid. It's tanking.
The fights were good. Everything else
I'm just
about
talking
it sucked.
straight. I saw it, and the G.I. Joe cameo thing was stupid.
No. Okay, that is one part I will actually defend because they are part of the same universe, and that would be the coolest thing to bring them together.
They are both owned by Hasbro, but they didn't.
No. It is canon that they are in the same universe.
You're gonna go with the Cobra Commander cameo from Transformers Season 3, where he had the replicant technology.
It goes back to the comics and all that. Like it is canon that they're all part of the same universe. This isn't
Might
something
as well
they
just have Lion-O show up.
Thunder.
Lion-O's on a different planet in a completely separate galaxy. So that
he's on Earth. Third Earth is Earth.
I don't buy that.
We learned that in
it looks nothing like the Earth. Okay.
But either way, that part is like that seems cool. Like, okay, yeah, get both of those things together. Now we got something interesting going on. You got like G.I. Joes that could probably actually help fight against Decepticons without being squished like a bitch, you know?
Do we? I don't know.
I think going back to all this, we should definitely show the He-Man what's going on video now.
Dude, if we were still on the first Transformers movie, I would say maybe give it a shot, do the thing. But like, I hate the Transformers and I hate G.I. Joe at this point. Like, neither of them is worth watching a movie for. Putting them together is just like, hey, I have put 2 pieces of shit on this plate. Would you like to eat them both?
Okay.
I mean, I could see what you're saying because like it doesn't seem very exciting because they've really run all these things into the ground at this point.
I agree that the mismanagement is the problem. G.I. Joe Real American Hero is a mismanaged property that has so much potential if they did it right.
So is Transformers.
Yes. Although the chick who played the Baroness in the first G.I. Joe movie looked hot.
Yes, that was Sienna Miller.
She was fantastic in that.
Yep. She was.
She actually looks better in that character than she does.
I don't mind in the girl casting in the first G.I. Joe movie with Rachel Nichols as Scarlet. She was really hot.
Right. Yep.
And Sienna Miller as the Baroness and they got the like little glasses perfect and everything. That was perfect.
I don't even remember these characters' names.
You don't remember Scarlet and the Baroness, like 2 of the main characters from
G.I. characters in G.I. Joe.
Nope.
I mean, it's not like we're doing a deep cut like CoverGirl over here, but like.
No, I have no recollection. Like,
and then they switched to Lady J in the sequel, which was Adrian Palacki.
I remember that girl. She's also in the Orville, and she's hot.
Yeah,
she's also in John Wick.
Yeah, well, she was in the first one where she got killed by the Continental for breaking the rules.
Yeah,
that was good.
And she got her start on Friday Night.
Friday Night
Lights.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, so
yeah,
I think
she is so hot.
G.I. Joe could do fine with G.I. Joe should basically be, I think, a TV show, and because you want to have a little more ongoing, you can do it with a smaller budget or do a John Wick style budget. It's an action movie, like Extraction 2 just came out, right?
Oh my God, Matt's doing it again.
What is he?
What is he doing?
Go into the private chat.
What is he doing now?
Oh Jesus!
Oh jeez! Like, does he not pay attention?
Do you mean our Twitter private chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the one that Braum was not allowed in. So don't tell him.
Yeah, I'm in that. Psycho.
Like that's the best you got is Psycho. Oh. I guess
after
that
all
is a
those
Brahma.
takes on after all those takes on the movie, yeah.
Dude, I was accurate. I was 100%
You said it.
accurate.
I will give
saving somebody from death is on par with saving somebody from being in prison after 10 years of serving.
I will
What
say
is?
this,
It's still a life
just
sentence. It's
to
still
be-
their entire life.
And this is because I was in the one me and you were arguing with Yeti, but I'm gonna say this for Yeti. His take was not as terrible as Tom's, where he's been committed to the idea that Barry Allen murdered his mother for the last 3 days. And like that one is just like, I don't know. I get what he's trying to say, that
he's mad that they didn't introduce who actually did it.
But they were already doing so much. You don't need to overwhelm your audience. You keep the mystery, because if the movie's successful, that's a perfect setup for the next one.
Well, that was the other issue. There was no real bad guy. He's fighting against himself the whole time. Like you've got the antagonist, which is Zod.
Well, that was always the storyline for Flashpoint, was that Barry Allen was the villain of Flashpoint.
Has to grow up.
Because his selfish needs.
That's where I could see Tom's point. Like, if he actually had to go and kill his mom, that would be powerful. Because like then he learns his lesson not to screw with time, to reset everything. He's got to put that knife in and then like live with that and try to become a better person. Like, so he's got to repair the entire universe by doing this deed that scarred him in the first place.
Well, I don't.
Do you know what I mean?
I get what you're trying to say from a storytelling standpoint, but you don't have your hero murder his mother, so that's not ever going to happen.
Because it's okay. I guess it would be a murder, but it's,
yes. Oh yeah, stabbing her right in the stomach would be a murder.
That is what we call going beyond the point of redemption. So like, you can never be a hero at that point.
Saving the entire universe. Oh, I guess that's essentially making him into the bad guy. Oh, yeah, so that's what should have happened. There should have been, I guess maybe this is the whole Reverse Flash thing then. But that like they go and then murder the mom.
But Yeti, that would have the same problems, because the dad would still get framed. And
yes, he has to be framed.
Right, but whoever did actually kill her would have a completely different life, because they never actually murdered her. So
yeah, that's why
you're looking at the same butterfly effect if he did
it's garbage. Like, it's all garbage. I'm just trying to come up with a way to save the garbage.
If there hadn't been so much talking going on last night, that was the point I was going to make with Tom, but it was a madhouse last night. So,
dude, I agree with you. Like, if you go with my idea, you come up with the same issues you started with, because you're still putting in the same problems that you started with, which is again my issue with the movie. Like, it never once learns from itself. And not having any resolution or to like what happened to his mom. He never went back during this entire thing. He never tried to find out what happened to his mom. Like, that should have been way more of a focal point than just
So he thought it was a random, like, first he thought it was just a random murder. So he thought just by giving her the can of tomatoes and making it so his dad didn't have to leave, he saves his mom, which he did, that did change the whole sequence of events, and his mom stayed alive.
Would you not try to find out who the murderer was?
That was
like as one of the first steps, so that you
he had no idea who it was. It's a moot point. He saves his mom just by taking remember how he had, the butterfly effect? What's the smallest action I can take to change what happened? And so I think this is the same, because they're repeating the same hubris he had when he moved the tomatoes to the top shelf. He thinks that if I just keep making it a smaller scale action, it'll be okay.
But I'm not even talking about. I'm not talking about changing an action. I'm talking about as one of the first things that he does would be to go back and then view that moment in time, because we know he can go through time, and then you just watch what goes on. That would be if someone murdered a family member. That'd probably be one of the first things I do to see who did that.
You want to go watch the murder?
To find out who, so who's accountable.
But if you can stop the murder from happening, then you don't have to know who the murderer is, because you
would still want to know, because whatever was in their heart, whatever their motivation was still take place in some way, shape, or form. So you have to know.
But the
But you
other
couldn't
thing,
change anything about that because of the butterfly effect either. So
that's still a big
no
change.
point in
but
knowing
you could
who
be
it was.
prepared. So if you make a change, you can always be on the lookout for the person that would be the murderer.
And then do what? Because if you do something, then that's influencing it even more.
Not at that point, because you're in a new timeline.
I'm going to give the movie credit in that with that conversation with Ben Affleck, Bruce Wayne, they put in his head that he was trying to make the smallest change in the past possible to.
But this would not make a
so
change
that he would
to
only
go and
get,
see who did it. Seeing who did it does not change anything.
But he can't act on it for at least 10 years.
Doesn't matter. But
who
knowing
may
who
change the way you respond, and that could definitely cause a ripple.
And to quote with Matt over here, our show starts at around 9 p.m. Eastern every Friday. And
Chad even put in at like 3 p.m.
I set the link extra early. So
and then explicitly said for Mad, so he doesn't realize that the show.
So, because we learned that lesson when a couple weeks ago, Mad tried to join on Saturday morning.
Oh my God. 24 hours later, whatever it was. Where are you guys?
And then was complaining, where's everybody? I would join and I was by myself. We were all there.
And here's the thing, man. Don't act like you don't know what was going on, because I had my BattleNet up and I saw where you were and what you were doing.
And then Brahma even confirmed, nope, Mad's on Diablo. So we
know where he hides now.
But so I think the movie put it in that autistic Barry Allen, as played by Ezra Miller, was trying to find just the smallest change to get just the effect he wanted, because he thought somehow in his rational, super, smart brain that if I just make the one change that causes my mom to live, it's going to minimize all the changes to the rest of the timeline. But he still doesn't know
who the actual killer is, and he didn't have to do anything to change, because he can go anywhere in time and just take a look. Oh, hey, that is the killer. And that doesn't change anything. Like, yeah. I know that bothered, because I would want to know. I would want to know who was the person responsible for this pain in my family.
Here's the thing. You are not a hero. And there is always the possibility, and this may not have been borne out in the movie itself, but if I were Barry Allen in that situation, hero, trying to be a hero, wants to be a hero, I may not want to find out who killed my mother, because I might decide, I'll just go murder them before they do it. And then we're talking pre-crime.
But then you're not a hero if you go and murder them.
Exactly. But if you knew that this person was going to kill your mother in cold blood, you wouldn't hate them regardless, and maybe do something irrational, like murder them first.
And that's true, Mad. Thank God.
Tie their shoelaces so they
getting all this shit out of his system before movies with Mad. We did a whole trial, which is why the scroll is indicating how. And I should add in Brahma.
Hey, you still need to change that. You did not get the W.
I should change that.
It was decidedly against you.
I mean, he got one of the W's. I gave you both a W.
Yeah, I know. He gave us both a W, but.
Hold on.
Yeah, but you gave Yeti a W for saying that it was mid when he never said that it was mid. He said it was one of the worst movies he's ever seen. That's not mid. Actually, he had to prove. You're right. He had to prove that it was the worst movie he ever saw.
No.
All right, hold on. I've updated the ticker as you requested, Yeti.
No, the court has already resigned at this point.
I just appealed it.
No, that is not how this works.
This isn't a criminal trial. We can have appeals.
We would have had counter counsel before this appeal process started. I was never consulted. This goes against all the regulations.
You've been barred from filing appeals. You've been dismissed with prejudice.
In here. I have no idea what to do at this point.
We need legal mindset. Legal mindset. Ricada is one of them. Somebody.
all I know is like, even if it was wrong, I wasn't going to admit that that was wrong legally. You just got to double down and keep going forward.
Yeah, but you just said that in front of the court, so now we know.
No, but you're like, we're playing separate characters now. So now you don't. Your character, the judge doesn't know.
Yes, the defendant said, all I know is that I was going to double down. I wasn't going to say that I was wrong, even if I was wrong.
Yeah, that's lawyer talk, motherfucker. That's how they work. They never admit they're wrong. When have you ever admitted a lawyer was wrong? Never. That's not how they work. Boom, lawyered.
Yeah, but they don't say that in the courtroom.
That's their job. Everybody knows it already.
All right, we're settling this. Brahma and I got the W as declared by Judge Slender.
No, that is not what's
that's
happening.
where it ends.
No. I refuse.
That feels right to me.
All right, so that's the last.
Right.
We're muting Yeti because he's clearly wrong about this part.
You don't just get to mute me.
No. Oh no, I'm kidding. It's all right. But I what we both agree on is that Ezra Miller needs to be gone.
We all three agree on.
Okay,
that's
here.
a
So outside of all
take.
this stuff, do you think he's going to actually have a film career after this?
No.
Because this movie's
nope,
right?
Nope. Yep,
do you think anyone's going to support him?
No.
He's
Okay, well, now I get to come in with the contrary opinion. Why does Ezra Miller need to be gone?
because he choked a bitch on camera.
Is he somehow a bigger piece of shit than anyone else in Hollywood? Not really.
I mean, a little bit. Like
he's kind. I mean,
I don't see
Ezra did kidnap.
Because
he's
here's the thing, right? Here's the thing.
Slender. He did you do know that he basically kidnapped a Native American teenage girl to start the apocalypse.
Johnny Depp's wife,
pregnant women.
Johnny Depp's wife cut half his finger off and shit on his bed, and she's still getting acting roles.
Now. Actually, no, she's not getting anything new. She's just like Ezra. They already had one they had finished, and so she's
been banished to Spain.
Yeah, she's been
where she's still crapping on streets.
Yeah.
That's right. She literally did. Like that was caught on camera.
She's on camera.
Does she got IBS or something?
She must have Crohn's. Maybe she's just like, she can't control it.
Weird.
I mean, that would probably buy her a little bit of favor if she brought that up. Like, oh, I've got Crohn's, so sometimes I shit the bed accidentally. That might buy her a little.
She should have argued that in court. Like Johnny Depp was really into anal, and that's why I can't hold it anymore.
Oh wow. Mad coming in with the take. All I know is I better not hear the Flash or anything related to the movie come out Yeti's mouth during movies with Mad. I hope the movies with Mad choice doesn't lend itself to being anything from the Flash.
We're watching more Wang Wang.
Yeah. Now all I'm going to think about is like the Flash and how to bring it up in this next.
As long as you don't think
because
of
apparently
Ezra's...
Matt hates me, and even though I specifically requested that we watch the one where Wang Wang beats up a bunch of people in a dojo, he was like, "I'm going to pick the one where that doesn't happen because you requested something else."
No, wasn't your actual words? I want to see the one where he beats up the woman in the dojo.
No, that's what you said, Yeti.
That was all you.
That sounds like a Yeti movie.
I think we're watching the Western one,
movie.
right?
But that was a request from Slender.
I mean, we definitely know when it's a Yeti movie. I think we're about to wrap up so we can go over to the movies with Mad, because I think Mad is probably ready for this to be done, and he's not going to level anymore in Diablo. Slender, are you going to be able to have a setup?
He's not going to level anymore in Diablo because he's bad at playing Diablo.
Slender,
so that's unrelated.
If we're watching the movie, will you be able to play Diablo to keep leveling higher than Mad as we watch the movie?
No, all he has to do is like play normally, and he's gonna level higher.
That's a movies with Mad foul. You can't.
I mean, once you guys got into the Flash, which I haven't seen, do you think I haven't been playing?
Brahma, pull up BattleNet. Is that son of a bitch on there playing Diablo?
I mean, that's just evil.
Go ahead, Brahma. Tell him.
Are you both on there playing Diablo?
I am not. He is.
Okay.
No,
Brahma is showing his worst sin for
but
me.
He's not showing us in the game.
Yeah, since it's his show, it's a worse sin for him to be on.
I mean, no kidding. So he doesn't respect the audience enough to be present.
If you want to file
wasn't
ethical
presenting
charges with the
arguments,
judge,
I was just listening.
Yeah, he was taking it in.
Yeah, he knows how to take it. That's what the Navy taught him.
Oh, well,
I am not the one who said stick a finger in and find out, Yeti. Or did you forget that?
I recall that being
That
said
is
in the stream.
unrelated.
And Matt over here, which I knew he has been playing for a minute, but did I say anything? No, because I respect the Diablo bro code.
It's okay. I'll put myself out there.
You know, I'm going to be honest, that it's takes like that mean that I agree when Mad gets to sing his theme song anytime he wants. That's
Even the most
Oh,
inappropriate.
no. We are not. Nope. Stream is over. Everybody have a good night. We'll talk about the Nielsen ratings next week.
Movies